Saka. Oh my. General Kenobi. Pleasure. What's up? Are you alone? În 2 minute o să vedem chestii despre Dying Light 2, gameplay, reveal la nu știu ce și toată lumea este hyped, după cum vedeți și streamerii mari se joacă acum Dying Light. Și o să vedem. Da, m-am auzit și eu. Sună-mă.
Face noul meu status. Da, l-am pus și eu așa, casual, frumos. Nu e ca și cum mă vede tipa aia.
Vedem.
Mi-ai auzit?
Ba, am auzit, bă, da. A?
Da, mă vede on cu statusul ăsta.
Am B1, B... A, bă, vrei să-ți dau și aici?
Mhm. Da.
Tu nu mă caut. Da. Ce faci? Da, că mai sună și tu pe la... Da. Ah. Am văzut la... Nu, când am terminat vizațiile. Înțelegi? Și acum am uitat la un gameplay de Dying Light 2. E live. E ceva premier nou. Gameplay-ul, da, poate bagă și un release date. Să vedem. Și ce mai zici?
Hello guys, nice to meet you. I'm Leah and this is Dying to Know. If you're dying to know what's going on in the world of Dying Light 2, then
te-am întrebat de chestia asta.
Here we'll be showing you all the news, the latest from the Dying Light world. We'll be announcing a few contests, we'll be talking to developers, and probably most importantly, we're going to be showing you a brand new gameplay trailer where you can see the current state of the Dying Light 2 game. But first, there's someone here I need to introduce you to. it's Aiden Caldwell.
I'm a pilgrim. An outcast. Roaming like a Japanese Ronin or an Old West desperado. My past is dark, but my
Nu
future
trebuia, bă, să zici
is
nimic.
a tiny,
Adică,
dying
bine,
light
e ok.
at the end of this tunnel.
De Biden.
Hello, guys. My name is Jonas Scott, and I voice Aiden Caldwell in Dying Light 2. But before that, I'm going to host this program with Leia, if you don't mind.
My pleasure. Well, I'm ready. Jonah's definitely ready. And I hope you're ready.
So if you're dying to know, just like us, then stick with us.
The story told in Dying Light 2 occurs 20 years after the events of the first game. And if you're wondering what happened in those intervening 20 years,
Mă duc cu mașina dimineața în trafic să stau pe jumătate de oră numai la semafor. Știi cum e dimineața aici la mine? Asta înseamnă de la cât? De la 7? Plec o oră înainte și stau în Vitan? Aoleu, mai devreme.
Welcome to the show, Thomas. So the first question I have for you today is, do I need to have played Dying Light 1 to sort of understand what's happening in Dying Light 2?
No, actually, you don't.
Bine că nu ai zis altceva, adică bine, nu știu ce știe. Știi tu.
So, in a way, you could say that Dying Light 2 exists a world beyond the apocalypse.
Intriguing. All right, tell me more, please.
Well, you remember the events of Heron in 2014. Well, after that, world leaders, they had a tough choice to make. They had to isolate the city of Heron.
Right.
For that, they created an exclusion zone. Like in Chernobyl, only a lot more people were left to die inside the walls.
Yeah, right. So they just isolated the entire
La fel.
city. And did
Și
it
tot nu
help?
cred că
Did
ne
it stop
plictisim.
the
Tot
virus?
descoperim locuri pe unde să mergem în sat.
Enough for everyone to forget about it, at least. Only in secret,
Ai văzut, e
scientists
chiar ok.
continued to study the virus. You know, manipulating its DNA, creating new strains. They were looking for commercial military applications. So, you know, they're doing it for the money, really.
Yeah, of course. So what happened next?
Și ceilalți?
The shit hit the fan. By Christmas 2021, one of these mutated strains escaped from a level 4 laboratory located near Geneva. We don't really know if this was accidental or not, but this time the virus was much faster than any government. Before the world could react, civilization was on the brink of collapse. People were dying in the streets, capital cities were burning. By the end of 2023, 98% of the population had been lost to the virus. There was a few settlements remaining, but only one city was still standing. The last bastion of mankind, our city, Villador, aka the city.
Right, so Villador is what we have left. So that's everything that's happened outside of the city. What actually happens inside Villador?
Well, the city has unique rules. First of all, it's surrounded by seemingly impassable walls. And inside the walls, the people that decided to use a radical new weapon against the infection, which actually gave them the upper hand in the first stages of the pandemic. But it also created terrifying new monster archetypes. 15 years on, a new equilibrium sort of emerged in the city. By daylight, human factions fight to control the city, and at night, the streets become the realm of these bloodthirsty, infected monsters.
Great. Well, that is extremely interesting. Thank you very much, Thomas. And we'll be hearing more about the vibrant and fantastic city soon, I hope. But first, I think we need to hear a little bit more about the characters.
Our second guest is a man of two industries, cinema and gaming. In a previous life, he wrote the hit HBO series Wataha?
Wataha, yeah.
Wataha. And then he moved on to Techland to become a narrative director. Piotr Jemenek.
Hi, guys. Thank you.
So we have plenty of time to talk about the rest of the characters in Dying Light 2. There are tons of them. But today, I think we want to focus on Aiden Caldwell, the protagonist. You want to talk more about him? Or?
Yeah, sure. So Aiden, he's the member of Outcasts, you know, the group of people traveling through this dangerous world of Dying Light 2 called pilgrims, because he's looking for his relative, the person whom he lost many, many years ago, and that person is his only memory from the past, and the only answer to whom Aiden really is.
Aiden is a really rich, deep character, very much cooler than I am.
Oh, no, come on.
I mean, he can run across buildings, jump from rooftop to rooftop, use all kinds of weapons.
Yeah, well, you know, he didn't have much choice. This world is full of infected, bloodthirsty creatures, so he didn't have much choice, right? The weak die, the strong survive, and Aiden, he just has to be strong. But why did he come like that? Why him? That's the main question of the game, and the player will have opportunity also to decide how Aiden will evolve. Will he help the weak? Will it distract him from his main goal? Or maybe he will just strive to the end of his search as soon as possible.
I can't imagine trying to survive or live in a city like that as a lone wolf by yourself without any kind of support.
Well, he's not gonna be alone, you know. He will meet many people. But again, depending on the player choices, some of them will become his allies, but some of them will become his enemies. One of the group he will encounter are the Night Runners, the former special force officers who were sick of the army's cynicism and lack of concern for common people. But they were brave enough to help the people during the night. And the night, as you know, is pretty horrifying in the game.
Yeah, so Aiden joins them, joins the Night Runners?
Oh, that's the question, my friend. The player will have to answer too. I won't spoil the pleasure of discovering Aiden's actions and true motivations, but what I can share with you is the fact that we really put big effort to make this character and many others complex and multidimensional. But there is so much more to be discovered during the game.
Oh, that's fascinating. I can't wait to learn more. Thank you so much, Piotr.
Thank you, thank you.
So before we watch the gameplay trailer of Dying Light 2 for the first time, we need to talk about something which is basically at the center of the Dying Light universe, which is
The community. Over the past few years, Dying Light has amassed over 23 million players and a 95% positive review rating on Steam.
which in Steam Talk is overwhelmingly positive, so bravo.
Yeah, we'd like to take a few seconds and thank you guys.
Thank you all for being on this journey with us. Thank you for sharing your love with others of Dying Light. And thank you for these great moments spent together. Dying Light 1 has some amazingly creative fans, which is fantastic, pardon the pun, because we're going to be starting a brand new contest which will combine your love of Dying Light with that same creativity.
With the release date of Dying Light 2 drawing ever closer, we'd like to extend our hand and invite you to make the community a little bit bigger. If you find yourself skilled in the ways of visual arts, writing, or costumes and cosplay, please join the Dying Light universe.
So check out dyinglightgame.com/contest, and if you win, there's a fantastic monetary prize on the line. But also, there's some other great rewards you could be in with a chance with winning as well.
Like a Platinum Edition of Dying Light. Look at this. This is the finest edition of Dying Light ever made. This is the Platinum Edition of Dying Light. This has every bit of content ever released for Dying Light in one place. It's massive. I mean, look at it.
For those of you who haven't experienced Dying Light yet, we are introducing Dying Light 1 Platinum Edition. It's the biggest and most complete edition to have ever existed.
And we're offering it to you now at an historically low price. All the content, lowest price.
It's literally no better time to buy than now, and you can get it on Steam, Xbox, and PlayStation.
Get your Platinum Edition of Dying Light now. This is the best offer, like, ever. I guess we don't have time to go over everything that's in the Platinum Edition, but it is everything. This is how it looks. Okay, so I'm excited because you guys are, in just a second, gonna see the official gameplay trailer for Dying Light 2. And then after that, we're gonna interview some of the devs that made it possible.
So, without further ado, here it is.
Hey everyone, we've been quiet for some time, since, like the rest of the world, we had some unforeseen hurdles to clear. But the wait is over. Let's dive into the open world of Dying Light 2. The last slice of Dying Light 2 showcased the mission from the main storyline.
You get after those fuckers.
You saw how your decisions influenced the narrative and notably changed the environment. This time, we want to give you a broader look at the game and a sneak peek at some of the things we'll be talking about in upcoming months. In Dying Light 2, you become Aiden Caldwell, an outsider trying to unravel a tangled mystery from his past. Its trail leads him to the city, probably the last bastion of mankind in the world.
Shit!
At first, you feel like this intense, brutal place will tear you apart. But then you meet the Night Runners, veteran survivors who help people in better days.
By the way, I'm Hakon.
You were a night runner. You used to help people, remember?
Night runners are gone. Finished. A myth.
And although it's not entirely clear you can trust them, you need allies in the dark. And these are the modern Dark Ages. It's been 15 years since the apocalypse and the world has changed. The old civilization has fallen, but a new one has been built on its ashes. People fight desperately for scarce resources. Rules are broken, and weakness is punished.
She's innocent!
3 factions struggle for position in the city. Survivors pride themselves on being able to adapt to any circumstances and cobble together safe zones almost everywhere. Peacekeepers, loyal soldiers who want to impose their version of law and order and trample all in their path. Renegades, ex-prisoners serving their ruthless colonel, seeking to become sole rulers of the city.
Where is Waltz? Make him talk.
Use these factions to reach your goal. Help or harm them to reshape the city to your liking.
Salut.
Just remember, each faction contains complex characters.
Nosy Parker, ain't ya? Got some kind of bad habit of yours?
So, will you follow cold calculation or your heart?
The Bazaar needs good people. Help us and you'll find a home here.
Some in the city offer no chance for an alliance. Bandits, outlaws, and common thugs live only to plunder and kill, plunging the streets into chaos. Yet, nightfall scares all of them equally. Darkness changes the rules of the world. As the light fails, monsters crawl out of hiding to prey on the poor souls caught outside the safety of UV rays. Hordes of infected pour into the streets like decaying lava. The deadly spawn of 15 years of mutation and evolution. Your only escape? Exploit the city's verticality and flee to the roofs. Though even there, you are never safe from swift and deadly virals. Or even greater threat. Yet night brings opportunity as well. Nests rife with infected during the day now lie empty. To explore them, you must tread carefully. But those brave enough to face the terrors of the night can loot a jackpot. Luckily, you have all the tools you need to survive. Your extraordinary parkour skills allow you to navigate even the most treacherous terrain. roofs, you can count on your parkour acrobatics to save your life. But often, you'll have to face your enemies head on. And then you have to be smart, resourceful, and determined. We've worked hard on the essence of our combat, making sure swinging a big, meaty weapon is fun, satisfying, and well executed. But even the most brutal fights can be tactical as well. You have multiple ways to hone your skills toward the gameplay style that suits you best. It's up to you if you focus mostly on mobility and parkour, or aggressive, blunt force combat, or a crafty approach where the tools you've created get the job done. Every ability you learn can be a game changer and possibly a new favorite move. Things move fast and quick in Dying Light 2. Each moment matters. Each move could mean triumph or defeat. Choose your actions and friends carefully. Everything you do in the city can reshape the gameplay environment, change the course of the narrative, and decide the fate of the city's residents. But most importantly, you decide your own fate as well.
You're about to turn.
Make sure to stay human.
An extensive post-apocalyptic world. And I really like that divisiveness, you know, the life on the roof and then death on the streets.
Yeah, like the intensity of the day and the night cycle together.
Yeah, it's almost like Dying Light 2 is two different games put together into one.
Yeah, like despite that, despite all the brutality going on the ground floor, there's something about like the rooftops and the plants and
It's
stuff.
cozy.
Yeah, I kind of want to be there. But it does feel like every decision is vital. Like your choices actually do have some consequences.
Choices and consequences are incredibly vital to Dying Light 2's gameplay. And we're going to interview some devs and talk about some other very vital gameplay mechanics. Our next guest is Adrian Pisa-Shizewski. Hi. Hi.
Welcome. And that gameplay looked awesome. I know we can't wait to get our hands on it, but congrats.
Yeah, for sure. It looks like you guys have a very unique world and a very unique game. Where y'all get your inspiration from?
Oh, that was a research. We did a deep dive into the history of our world, and we found repetitive patterns. We found that people use the same behaviors in the past after the fall of civilization or after the fall of the nation that's supposed to be a backbone of our world. So our approach was super simple. We just copycat those behaviors and attitudes and show you how our world would look like after the fall. However, it's kind of obvious that the main reason that civilization fall is virus pandemic or eventually the economical collapse. Yeah, that's basically obvious thing. But it's even darker if you connect those things with the research we did at the beginning of the production. So people will question everything. They're gonna blame everything and everyone that's supposed to guide us in our lives every day. So they're gonna blame governments, they're gonna blame law, they're gonna blame science, or even religion. Some people might ask themselves that, where was God when it happened to us, basically, you know? So I feel that all of those things together creates the sensation that it's a giant step backward for our civilization.
So Dying Light 2 has a subtitle, Stay Human. What does that mean?
Well, it's super hard to remember those values that makes us human, so like compassion or support. So the entire fall, those dark times we have is a big test for everyone. And I think it's even harder test because to stay human, people would sacrifice what's the most important for them or sometimes risk their lives.
Wow, so that's like really intense. And there's like the obvious like double meaning to it, which is what I was thinking. Stay human, don't become a zombie.
Yeah, but one disclaimer, those are not zombies, you know? Those are infected people that turn to be a monster. They're just crossing a line, you know, and they're turning to be a monster, you know? Because in Dying Light, we all infected. Yeah, we all wearing this biomarker, you know it, and you're wearing this, I'm wearing this. That's a watch, actually, but you know that, you know? So that's the thing. So the challenge is to not cross this line at all costs. So that's the biggest challenge of staying human in this meaning.
I see, yeah, not zombies.
Not zombies.
Not zombies.
At all.
People have crossed the line.
right, well, fascinating. Thank you so much, Adrian. We're definitely going to be hearing from you again soon.
Yeah, thank you so much.
We have with us Katarzyna Tarnacka, the Environmental Art Director.
Hi. And we have game designer Michał Duzak.
Hello.
So, choices and consequences. The player has to make a choice, and they have to experience or endure the consequences. What does that mean?
Basically, the whole system of choice and consequences is really, really complex. I would say the best way to describe it is that the player is making the decisions based on 3 layers. First one are the choices that you do during the main story missions. And those big changes actually can change the whole game or even how the story ends. The second layer are choices that you do while the quests. And those choices can actually influence the mission itself. And the last one, the last layer, is so-called city alignment system. And I, as an open-world game designer, would like to focus on.
Please do, go on.
All right, so water and electricity are basically a key to survive in every world. By restoring it, player can not only unlock the water or electricity in the area, but he can also, based on his decision, assign it to one of the factions, which will influence how the district looks like or who's going to live inside of it. But it also, what is pretty more important for a player, unlock new tools for him, like unique tools for each factions, like car traps, zip lines, or a trampoline. That player can use in exploration to deal with bandits or infected, or simply to move faster through the city. So basically, based on your choices, you shape the game environment, which gives you a different experience every time you start a new game. And what is worth mentioning here that Dying Light 2 is playable up to 4 co-op players. So you can host the game or join other players and see how their choices came up differently to your own.
Interesting.
There's one thing I'm really curious about, though. Night versus day. How does the gameplay differ from the night and the day?
Well, the short answer is that day is for humans and night is for the monsters. But to describe it a little bit better, I would say that during the day, humans, factions, bandits, or survivors scavenging the city and searching for some scraps or someone who might have them. And this is the best time for a player to explore the city, meet its citizens, learn the stories, day-to-day agenda, or even simply help them in a quest or open-world activities to survive those dark ages.
Yeah, and that sounds quite pleasant, but I'm guessing night changes everything.
Exactly, exactly. During the night, all the infected get out of the buildings. And compared to the Dying Light 1, the night is going to be even more intense this time. Intense in terms of the amount of enemies, their new types, and new, more aggressive behaviors. And what is important, this time, night can mean also opportunity. An opportunity for the players who are courage and skilled enough to use the fact that all the infected are outside and buildings are accessible to explore them and search for the most valuable loot in the game.
Katarzyna, you're responsible for the post-apocalyptic look of the city. Can you tell us a little bit how about the city became to look that way?
Yes. I guess the important thing to realize is in 2025, a decision was made to use a chemical attack to stop the spread of the Haran virus. And the result is a tight ring of chemically active areas around the city. Some of the chemicals have gotten into the groundwater and spread under the surface, killing every living plant and every living thing in its reach. What it means for the city is that the street levels are virtually dead. The soil is unable to sustain any life, any plant, and the street level is a domain of the monsters, just decaying in every aspect.
Wow, so it sounds like there's just no healthy, organic life down there at all.
Not really. The survival on the street level is pretty tough, so the common people are just visitors there. But the life prevailed. It moved up to the rooftops. And this is where the plants are flourishing and blooming in the post-apocalyptic landscape. And this is where people build and develop the new world of Dying Light 2, electricity producing windmills and safe zones for the player. And in a way, in a metaphorical sense, the rooftops are the new default ground floor, the level 0, and trip to the streets is, in a way, a trip underground, a -1 of sorts, just a corpse of a lost civilization.
Wow.
Intense.
Yeah, to say the least. I can't imagine being a citizen living in that city, let alone being a player, and how challenging that's going to be.
Yeah, and hold that thought. Thank you very much for joining us today, but it's now time to introduce our next guests.
With us now are Bartosz and Peter. And guys, I have one question about the open world in Dying Light 2. How big is it?
It's pretty big.
We know that. Can you tell us a little bit more?
Yes, of course. The map in Dying Light 2 is divided into 2 huge regions and several zones.
Okay.
There are plenty leftovers from the lost civilization for you to scavenge. But we didn't want our players to perceive the map only horizontally, so we see the map as a multi-level 3D world that supports your traversal and helps you solve parkour puzzles.
Yes, in-house we call it multi-layer open world exploration. And you know, the movement system from Dying Light 1, we remove every restriction from the player. You can move everywhere you want, how you want to do it. And when I think about it, I think that was a big challenge for us to create the geometry that support all of that. And we did it, and I think we did it well. Doing the same thing in Dying Light 2 wasn't our goal. We want to make one or more step forward to surprise the player expectation. That's why we doubled the number of parkour moves.
Doubled, and I mean, it's not like there was a shortage in Dying Light 1, so what?
Yes, the iconic Dying Light 1 parkour is essential there. We improve it. We double the number of parkour moves. The players will see over 3,000 different parkour animations, from the basic move, through the tricks, to the small little tasty details there that you can see it.
Okay, well, unfortunately, I'm gonna have to stop you there, but don't hate me because in the next episode, we're gonna be talking more about parkour and how the team have managed to make an authentic urban running experience in Dying Light 2.
Yeah, thank you guys so much for the information. Bartosz, Peter, it's been a pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so the last and arguably the most important question I'm sure you have is, when is the release date?
Yeah, that is a very, 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 very important question.
And luckily, we have the answer. And that answer is the 7th of December.
Waited years to say that out loud. And now that we know the release date of the game, it's time for you to go pre-order it. Go to dyinglight.com/pre-order, select your platform, and then hit pre-order. And there you go. Congratulations. You just pre-ordered one of the most anticipated games of this year. Go you. Oh, wow. I want one.
Well, I've got good news for you then, because this official figurine is part of the collector's edition of Dying Light 2, and you can get one for yourself if you want.
Oh, nu cred că dar
the whole set for the professionals.
Mamă, nu mai pot. Oh, nu mai pot de fericire cu aia, nu mai pot. Mamă, cât am așteptat jocul ăsta. Până aici, pe live, ești nebun?
The collector's edition, a concept art book full of stunning artwork from the game. You get this steel book, which will have your game inside it, of course, and you get this interesting little sort of UV flashlight. So, yeah.
Cool. It looks like there's all sorts of vanity elements in here, too, like some legendary skin packs, as well as all sorts of digital elements. For more information on these digital elements, please visit the pre-order website. I want this, and I want Dying Light 2.
Kind of thought you'd say that. Well, if you're feeling the same way, then I've got good news, because you can pre-order the collector's edition. However, it is very, very limited, so you'll have to be very quick.
Rest assured, there will be plenty of the standard edition for your standard gamer, but if you're into special editions, there is a deluxe edition of Dying Light 2 with a steel book, legendary pack, and a digital soundtrack, and much, much more.
So to summarize, that's 3 different editions that you can buy depending on what you're after. And if you just can't wait until release to get immersed in the world of Dying Light 2, then why don't you go check out the Techland Gamers and Goodies website for more info.
Yeah, this is a program for all gamers, whether or not you want updates on Dying Light 2 with the news, or you want Dying Light 2 items in Dying Light 1. Everyone's going to find something they like there.
Yep, and this is just an initial offering as well. Check back later for even more details, more information, and we'll be going through it in future episodes as well.
That's it. Don't forget to pre-order the game and take part in our contests. The details are on the game's website.
And here's a sneak peek at the topic of the next episode. Thank you for watching, and stay safe out there. Bye.
See ya.
Doamne. Prietene de noapte. Vine Civil War-ul.
Bă, nu știu, bro, momentan încă nu. Dar poate. Cum? شكرا كيف
Atac special.
Da, dată release date, 7 decembrie, abia aștept. Tu ce mai?
Da. Sincer. Da. Dacă n-am probleme și așa, da. Nu știu cum am avut data trecută.
Băi, dar nu mai mâncai iaurt și de-astea de dinainte în pana mea, că te caci pe tine. Fii tu chill și așa, vorbesc chiar cu maică ta. Ce? Să mănânci orez. Că noi am vrea să facem...
Stai. Cine ne duce, Manjac?
Vă duc și eu și el, că avem mai multe mașini acum. Și am zis, joi, vineri, sâmbătă sau duminică, depinde de zi. Eu aș zice cel mai bine joi sau vineri. Că sâmbătă și duminică ăsta se duce la țară, iar face nu știu câți kilometri și așa. Ai înțeles?
Da.
Încă... Cred că încăpem în 2 mașini. Păi pana mea nu venim 20. Foarte bine, e genial. Păi, ți-am zis, depinde acum câți...
Nu, iar... Mamă. Iar mi-am adus aminte. Nu, nimic. Iar mi-am adus aminte de discuția de azi la sport. Nu, te rog eu. Nu aia. De aia nu mai vreau să-mi aduc aminte. Ziceam de azi, la ora de sport. Chiar au vorbit alea. Chiar au început să vorbească de băutură și se lăudau că ele, da, că ele vara gata, se bată cu vișinată. Așa, să bea în fiecare seară. Ale a zis asta, că se bată în fiecare seară. Și că, mamă, la Adelina mi-a plăcut cel mai mult, cel mai tare. Tasul lui Vali e cel mai bun prieten al meu. Când vreau, tasul lui Vali, când vreau să beau, da. Când vreau să beau cu el, se luminează fața. Bă, asta nu cred că se laudă. Nu se laudă cât de mult asta se laudă cât de repede se îmbată. Hai de capă, ce
Ți-ai fost că nu... Da, poate te alegeai cum e. Probabil o să-l cumpăr și eu să mă aștept. Clar, îl cumpăr, îi dau pre-order Ultimate Edition. Nu mă interesează Platinum Gold, Morți Edition. îmi iau 10 milioane cât costă, nu mă interesează atâta, da, pe joc. Și clar, la lansare când iese Dying Light o să facem live de 100 de ore. Nu mai dormim. Facem și murim pe live-ul ăla, gen termin jocul, dar măcar să mor, știi, gen... Aia e. Da. Nu mai am 2 ore de trăit și vreau să mă joc Dying Light 2. În ultimele 2 ore. Speedrun mondial, o să vezi cât termin jocul, o să fie record. Mor aici. Parcă și văd. O să aibă canalul un omagiu, o să am abonați după moarte ca pictori, știi, când mor și prin valoarea și o să fiu și eu.
Ca muzicienii.
Da, și o să găsească alea cu Vice City Stories, o să fie ceva momente de alea puse în ramă. O să fie ceva nebunie.
Nu mai pot, nu mai pot.
Da, mamaie, da.
Da, mamaie, da, o să mă ură la...
Deci 7 decembrie, exact Moș Nicolae. Deci o zi după Moș Nicolae. E pe 6. Mamă, o să fie cel mai mișto cadou de Crăciun. Ce crezi că fac toată vacanța? S-a terminat cu Dying Light. Ce facultate, ce taximetrie? Nu, s-a terminat. Dying Light.
Nu ieși de pe live-ul.
Ziceam că ne facem taximetrii, dar... Ce?
Până ești singurul. Nu ieși de pe live-ul ăsta până nu ești singurul.
Să rămân singurul pe live? Ai nebunit?
Da.
De ce? Bine, o să rămân pe live aici. Ia, dar zice așa. Pre-order now to get. Îmi dă asta, îmi trimite haina asta acasă? Sau e gen în joc? Că mor. Dacă eu dau pre-order la joc și îmi trimite hainele astea acasă, eu acum dau pre-order. Eu ți-mi trimite 2 săbii, un ghiozdan.
Asta cred că e de joc.
Da, cred că e în joc, în pana. Da, paraglider. Nu-mi trimite paraglider în viața reală, stai liniștit.
Sau săbile.
să fac pe aici glide ca Mario, pe blocuri. Cum ar fi?
Mamă, ce trebuia să zic lui copilul ăla când începea să vorbească de Wikifit?
Ce?
Auzi, Bogdane, ce-o fi în sufletul lui maică ta când te auzi ce fantezia ai?
Doamne, mi-aduce aminte de mimul ăla. Ce-o fi în sufletul lui Tacto când te vede cu unul ca ăsta și arată un bombardier de la cu pantalon de aia sumești ca trică și cu scarliți în picioare cu aia? Stai liniștit că și-am văzut astăzi un specimen cu mangeac în stație și în autobuz. Era român la față, mâncați aici. Bă, dacă cum arăta și cum vorbea și cum așa, să mor dacă nu era țigan. Da, și gândește, dacă românul se comportă ca țiganul, asta îl face mai țigan decât țiganul, știai?
Fez.
Da, ceva de genul. Ai zis bine. Alberto X a decedat pe data de 10 mai după aproximativ 80 de ore de Dying Light. A rămas un player cu un speedrun de 6 ore și înainte să moară a rugat pe abonat să scrie pe mormângete Vice City Stories. No, frate, nu mersi, nu vreau să am așa ceva. Pe piatră. Bine.
Cum era mimul ăla? La festivitatea de premiere vin Caurolacu, iar pe live la Dying Light 2 în costum.
Nu, când o să fac live cu Dying Light 2 când apare, o să-mi iau costumul pe mine, că o să fie și frig și nu o să simt căldura, știi? Și mi-au costumul frumos, elegant, părul pe... Dar nu gen freză cum eu fac eu, părul pe spate, lipit. Elvis o să fiu de la gen operă.
Și cu ăștia în picioare.
Da, și o să vin și cu scarleți. Dar nu o să se vadă scarleții, cred că o să-mi pun a doua cameră gen la picioare, să vadă scarleții, că așa. Și pantalonia de lăutar, o să fie perfect. Da, o să fac intro la live cu dansul lui Stan. Foarte frumos să fiu. Ce faceți, băi, căpușilor?
Ăștia cred că o să-mi iau eu de ăștia.
No, trebuie mai sumeși. Bă, când stăteai pe scaun, îți ajungeau blugii mai sus de gleznă. Mai sus. Și aia era mișto, că și ți-am făcut eu și mai gen sus, știi? Așa trebuie să ajungi la Cambridge acolo. Tu cu pantalonia până, gen zici că erai pescar, știi ce zic?
Da, să mă vadă așa.
Să mor, pe bune.
Bă, dacă intram în canal aia și mă vedeau toate e-girls, nebuneau. S-a terminat.
Ce scriu mă ăștia docket în continuu? De ce scriu ăștia docket? Ia, scriu și eu docket. Docket, ce-mi dă? You need to be a follower? Băgam ea și... Hai, te-am dat follow, docket. Dă ceva? O muie. Nu mi-a dat nimic.
Slow mode.
Docket, toată lumea scrie docket, dar nu dă nimic. What the fuck? Claim! Click to claim. Ia. Și ce? Mi-a dat asta. Și channel points, get started. Modify morți. Aaa, căcat. Credeam că îmi dă ceva pe Dying Light. Că ăștia mai dădeau docket-uri gratis. Foarte multe.
Hai de cap, pantofi am găsit. Nu știu.
Tric, un bun prieten al lui Alberto X a declarat că acesta a zis că nu o să renunțe până nu termină tot ce poate în joc, iar el acum este la morgă cu copia de Dying Light 2 Deluxe Edition și GTA Vice City. Doamne! și acum, prin aproximativ 300 de litere, ați auzit ce o să se întâmple pe 70 decembrie. Îți dai seama că o să dorm, n-am cum să rezist așa, că nu, băi, mor în pana mea. E Dying Light 2, dar dă-l în slobos de joc. Dorm și eu o oră și după aia revin. Știi ce zic? Da.
Faceți încă o dată traseul care l-am făcut ieri. Pentru diplomă. Ia, nu, stai, am o idee. Mă uit pe PGG. E cu aia. Doar cu Mihai și Tachizawa. vedem în trafic. Logic că... Da, că pe nimeni nu mai am. Doar de serviciu. Sunt primii mei prieteni care mă se jucă pe la spate. Eu o să dau mesaj pe grupul ăla când o să rămân singurul membru.
Și acum pot să vă zic bine v-am regăsit pe live, că am avut discuții și discuții despre ce facem noi zi, săptămâna viitoare. Bă, mă bag la somn, ne vedem, nu putem lua de ani, să te pup, mersi că ai venit pe live. Ce ai zis?
Sper că v-a plăcut reacția mea, chiar dacă nu mi-am arătat fața pe live.
Ba, am avut facecam-ul deschis, dar numai că am stat cu telefonul în timpul gameplay-ului, dar am văzut gen toate detaliile și așa. Mamă, deci apare pe 7 decembrie 2000. Băi, eu am acum un heart attack, nu vine să cred. Mamă, sunt atât de fericit că dacă apărea în 2022, cred că mă aruncam pe geam. Că i-a dat delay de dă-l în slobos de joc. A făcut gameplay-ul ăla în 2017, a zis că trebuie să iasă în... Nu în 2017, ce prost sunt. 2019 parcă, sau în 2018 arăta, trebuia să iasă în 2019. După aia a zis că iese în 2020. Și acum în sfârșit iese în 2021. Finally. Cât am așteptat. 7 decembrie, nu notez data asta, e sărbătoare, ești nebun. Calendar frumos, bam bam. Și am zis că pre-order ne-au, deci poți să dau pre-order de pe Steam? Ia să vedem, chiar sunt curios, căutăm Dying Light 2, că era aici. Poți să dau pre-order? Da, mă, da. A băgat prețurile. Ești ratat. S-a terminat. Da, așa se numește jocul Dying Light 2 Stay Human sau ce? What the fuck?
Da.
Stay Human, dar de ce Stay Human? Că nu era așa numit.
Așa l-am numit pe live.
Cred că și se numește live-ul Stay Human. Și așa, Dying Light 2, 60 de euro, Deluxe 80 de euro, Ultimate 100 de euro. Mâine mă duc să-mi bag 100 de euro.
Doamne!
Mă interesează dacă e prost jocul și așa. Și uite, ce?
E un joc frumos numit Escape from Tarkov. unde am băgat...
Bă, că ăsta mă joc, nu fac ca acolo, ești nebun la cap. Tot în sânge.
I-am uitat și pe developeri.
Da, le-am scris e-mail și le-am trimis e-mail-ul, să știi.
Tichet special, le-am dat tichet special. Au fost niște bulangii cu mine și nu mi-au dat ID-ul unic pentru care am dat atâția bani.
Ia, deci, de ce?
Eu și cu Bendac suntem văzuți prost în țara asta.
Așa e, Bogdane. Te pupăm. Te sunăm noi sau?
Era visul Mihailului să-ți iei niște tălpile.
Oh, God.
Tu realizezi că ăsta s-a făcut nu odată, ci de 2 ori de căcat în fața ei.
Odată că a zis că eu nu te vreau pe tine, vreau o fată ca lumea, una așa.
Că să ieșim.
Doamne. Și a doua oară cu căcatul ăsta și în fața lui Maria.
Doamne, s-a făcut de căcat, bine că erau doar astea două.
Dacă erau mai multe.
Dacă erau mai multe persoane, da.
Sal. Ia vine ce conține de Lux Edition. De fapt nu, pre-order la standard. Reload outfit, reload weapon skin, reload paraglider. Deluxe Edition îți dă același lucru și îți mai dă așa: access to a story DLC that will be available in the months after the release, exclusive weapon charms, legendary outfit, legendary weapon skin, legendary paraglider skin, wallpapers ready to print, digital comic, digital artbook, digital soundtrack și Ultimate îți dă așa ce îți dă tot până acum. 2 ore night XP boost, wallpapers ready to print, digital comic, crafting items, expansion pass with 2 extra stories that will be available. Ia uite, are și expansion pe jocul ăsta, deci o să aibă, cred că, mai multe DLC-uri, gen cu poveste. Mă, păi ăsta e prea bun, ești nebun. Uite asta. Și îmi dă și XP, fac și mamă, farmez mai repede, exact ce vreau. Stau numai pe el. Altceva nu mă joc.
What?
Și gândește că jocul ăsta are o grămadă de ending-uri, o grămadă de alternate timelines. Știi că e de la cu alegeri, deci o să-l rejoc de vreo 17 ori, cam așa. E bine? Sau?
Să nu se faci și rank pe DVD.
Sal! Ce rank pe DVD? La revedere.
Masa.
În iulie fac 1 an de rank 1, după aia GG. Pa, mă las. Urmeam, mă, ce-i? Niciodată. O glumă, știu. O glumă destul de bună.
Zombie nu se joacă singuri.
Corect. Dar ce crezi, că zombii sunt numai noaptea? Mai mulți. Mai găsești și ziua, dar așa, ascunși. De obicei sunt oameni, cu aia te bați. Și aia sunt mai terminați. Sunt terminați rău.
Da, te campează după uși.
Faza mișto, am înțeles că nu o să fie gen arme de alea de foc, numai arme albe. E și bine, dar și nașpa, că alea erau foarte bune în Dying Light, știi? Un M4, un căcat, știi? Te ajuta, dar... Acum o să te bazi mult mai greu cu un zombie. Nu mai bazi la distanță cu arma, știi? Ales ăia mari, care au o grămadă de viață. Aia volatiles, care sunt cei mai puternici, care vin noaptea. Îți dă un pumn și te dă pe jos. Planned release date, December 7. Mamă, Ultimate Edition, 100 de euro. Cam cât vine, mă, 100 de euro? Că știu că vine mai mult de 5 milioane. Că, a crescut euro. Cât am așteptat anunțul, băga mea și...
491,64 RON.
98?
91.
Bun. Deci trebuie să bag 5 million. Sunt 19.000 de oameni pe live. Nu este, bă, eu nu ies de aici până nu... Vreau să rămân singur. Dar cred că o să-l închidă ăștia, ești nebun? Black Friday night. Toată lumea spune asta. Adevărat că mai e ceva până... Știi, aș putea să fac încă o chestie, gen să... aștept și după aia să-mi dau pre-order gen aproape de cum mi-am dat cu Resident Evil 8. Știi? Că mi-am dat pre-order la Resident Evil 8 cu o zi înainte, sau cu 2 zile înainte. Alții zic că oricât de mult ai iubi un joc sau ceva, lasă-l să iasă, urmărește gameplay-ul și de-abia după poți să-l cumperi, știi? Gen ca să nu... cum a fost Cyberpunk, toată lumea pre-order și un pișat, știi? Dar nu să fie așa în cazul lui Dying Light 2, că e viața mea, jocul ăsta, compania asta, Techland.
Bă, când a ieșit în Doom Eternal, bă, nu m-am uitat la absolut niciun gameplay.
Erai disperat?
De disperat, gata.
Masacă.
Nu mă uit, nu, masacă, nu mă uit. Nu uit, că stric planul. Stric surpriza. Cac.
Când știi cum să fie la Dying Light 2, că idioții ăștia primești și jocul mai devreme, pre-build-uri de alea de la developer. Bă, văd live-ul de la Dying Light 2, îmi stric telefonul. Pă bune, eu îmi stric telefonul. Deci eu nu mai am acces la net până nu-mi instalez jocul. Pă bune, deci așa o să fac, nu vreau să mă spoilere, dă-te-mi până mea că știu că sunt spirit runner de ăștia transpirați la cur, care vor să termine jocul instant.
Ca Dream.
Can you believe that? I'll tell you what. I spent 50 euros on a website called OnBubble, okay? 50 euros. I spent for a pack called Gold Plan.
Așa a fost foarte harsh, right.
Hai că deja te speli, nu crezi?
Self-cut.
Gold Miner, ce căcă face asta? A, avem puncte? Ce să vă facă punctele? Mi le da așa la mișto? Așa, și ce fac cu punctele verzi? Am 900 din 2000. Și ce fac cu punctele? Bă, dă-te în sânge. Mă, dar așa se numește jocul. Dying Light 2 Stay Human, ești nebun? Așa se numește. Nu Dying Light 2. Cum Stay Human, mâncați-și? De ce n-ai băgat numele ăsta? Rămâi om. Fuck you. 60 de giga mai ies, o să aibă mai mult, stai chill că e mare joc. Da, îți duce cu ei 3. Da, sigur. Du-te bă, deci tu ai văzut cum arată jocul ăla? Nu-mi duce nici mie, cred că o să lasă să-l duc pe medium sau ceva, dacă vreau să-mi și live-ul deschis 10 ani. Da, am încredere că ăștia optimizează foarte bine jocurile Techland. Știu de la Dying Light 1, deci ăștia sunt ca Rockstar, știi? Scot un joc și e bombă. Am văzut și tu că orice joc de la Rockstar e optimizat. Până și alea 3D.
Până și acel joc?
Care?
Al cărui nume nu avem voie să-l...
Da, mă, Vice City Stories, poți să zici.
Vice City Stories. Cel mai bun.
Să mor. Uite, deja a apărut aici pe Instant Gaming. De la 60 de euro este 41,49 de euro. Plus ce-ți mai bagă fiuri, deci ajunge la 46. Dar nu e valabil, încă n-am băgat pre-order-ul. Da, bine, nu mi-au de ăsta standard, nu mi-au deluxe, pardon, Ultimate. Clar. Eu să fiu cel mai bun survivor.
I did it in the middle. Cause I wanted to surprise you guys all of a sudden. It's like there was a lot of leaks and stuff going on. So I'm like, yo, there you go, guys. No one realized, and I'm like sitting in the corner. I'm like, press the button, and everyone in the chat is like, oh shit, 7 is the release date. 7 is the release date. I'm like, I know. I've gifted the game. Oh no, I can buy the game. It's not the problem. I just need the collector's edition. It's not like I can't buy it.
Și atent, mai trailer, îmi iau Collector's Edition, îmi iau și statui de alea cu ăștia. Aia e mai scumpă, cred că, nu? De obicei. Da, aia, practic, nu știu cum o comanzi, că îți vine din America, de unde mai îți vine? Fizic, trebuie să o iei pe aia, nu-ți vine gen Căcat.
No, not this one. Oh, but sorry, wait a second. You're not watching.
Da, așa zis eu că mi-au Collector's Edition de la Dumnezeu, că am văzut acolo casca e nebună.
Vrei să o pui pe cap?
Da.
Este așa, căutăm așa. Dying Light 2 Collector's Edition. Deja are search-uri.
But you know, the best part was your reaction and the way everyone reacted. I was like, damn. But the music is running in the background. Listen to the music.
Pre-order now.
Such a good music. Anyways, guys.
Fuck, nu te lasă să-ți dai pre-order.
Really? Are you sure, Russ?
Ba da.
Who told you that? Who told you that?
Ce înseamnă Retail Edition? Trică, ce înseamnă?
Retail?
Digital și Retail Edition, care e diferența?
Retail adică cu CD.
Retail e cu CD?
Da.
Cine naiba mai folosește FCD? Ai nebunit la cap?
I'll do the face reveal very soon. It's gonna happen soon. Subscribe to the channel because I want to get 100k really soon, but I'm gonna do it before that, I guess. 1 hour.
Deci Collector's Edition is the Defender of the City statuette plus Collector's Items și da așa. Artwork, hard copy, UV flashlight, map of the city, e important. 3 postcards, Voice of the City stickers pack, thank you letter from our creative director, Collector's Edition box. Și cam și cât costă?
Pentru portofelul. Ne umpi și portofelul cu banii tăi.
Fraiere. Bine băi, ia că pot să dau comandă. Mamă, cum arată ăsta, skin legendar.
Legendary.
Da, e nebunie. Bun, și? Cum dau pre-order? See what's inside. Nu vreau să dau pre-order, ok? Mă las să cumpăr? Cum dau mă pre-order, ești nebun?
What the fuck? Best game only. What about giveaway of Dying Light 2? I'm gonna do that. I'm actually gonna do the giveaway.
Bun. Sunt available. Fă mea și piciorul. Dacă e în Franța, mor. Da, nici nu cred că nu pot să le cumpere mă încă. E prea devreme, gen colector. Da, prețul nu-l arată, mă? Prețul nu-l arată?
Hai că nu mai pot sta.
A?
Nu mai pot să stau.
Bine, mă, atunci. Te-am pupat. Noapte, ne auzim mâine, te pup. A, ok. Te pup.
Alright guys, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna have to work. I can get you 85.
260 de dolari. Să moară măta.
Look at that, I'm already at 85.3k. What the hell? It's right there.
Oh my fucking god, în pana vine. 16. 17 milioane. Ba nu, ba da. 16 milioane, 16 milioane, 16 milioane vine. Sau 200. Foarte mult pentru Dying Light. Foarte, foarte mult.
I'm gonna do a lot of things. By the way, I'm gonna go. And the reason I'm actually saying I have to go because I gotta be real bad, like real bad. I've been sitting here My AC's on. I've been drinking a lot of water. I gotta get that water out of my body. I gotta go. Okay. Is there a price that's 250 or 280? Depends. So depends on where you live. Peace to the veil. Y'all gonna do that. Alright guys, thank you for watching. You guys are awesome. Love you guys. Thank you for all the support. I'm gonna see you guys tomorrow or within a few hours. I'm gonna upload some video. So yeah. See you guys there. I will stream something really soon, so watch out for that as well. Thank you and bye bye. Good night.
Încă sunt în transă de la chestia asta. Uitați câte forme de... Câți zombi noi sunt și ziua și seara, uite tu. Sunt, bă, mâncați și poți să iau pe toți. Bine, dar depinde de alegeri, depinde de facțiune, depinde de alegere. De-aia jocul ăsta poate fi rejucat de foarte multe ori și asta o să facem. 100%.
Survivors here. Love it, I know. Thank you, bro. Oh no, bye, man. Stay alive. I'm gonna be alive. What are you talking about? I'm telling you to stay as human. You're telling me to stay alive. What the hell? Stay Gamerali. I will.
Steelbook in retail copies. Ce pana mea e Steelbook?
Do join my Discord if you guys haven't joined my Discord. Definitely.
Steelbook. Gen artwork?
Subscribe. Anyway, I'm gonna see you guys. Bye-bye. Later. Bye-bye. I gotta go. If I don't go in 5 minutes, I'm gonna be right here. I promise. I swear to God, I'm gonna be right here. On my setup. Fuck, what am I even saying? Bye-bye. Good night, everyone. Love y'all. Bye-bye. Final bye. I'm going. Bye.
Mi se pare că a pus tipul ăsta pe care l-am urmărit gameplay. L-am pus. Am pus ăștia.
Of the world, we had some unforeseen hurdles to clear, but the wait is over. Let's dive into the open world of Dying Light 2. The last slice of Dying Light 2 showcased the mission from the main storyline.
You get after those fuck.
You saw how your decisions influenced the narrative and notably changed the environment. This time, we want to give you a broader look at the game and a sneak peek at some of the things we'll be talking about in upcoming months. In Dying Light 2, you become Aiden Caldwell, an outsider trying to unravel a tangled mystery from his past. Its trail leads him to the city, probably the last bastion of mankind in the world.
Mamă, da, chiar a luat infecția asta cu toată lumea, ești nebun? Chiar.
At first, you feel like this intense,
între ultimele orașe, ia uși, ciudat.
But then you meet the Night Runners, veteran survivors who help people in better days.
By the way, I'm Hakon.
You were a night runner. You used to help people, remember?
Night runners are gone. Finished. A myth.
And although it's not entirely clear you can trust them, you need allies in the dark. And these are the modern Dark Ages. It's been 15 years since the apocalypse and the world has changed. The old civilization has fallen, but a new one has been
Și
built on
Dying
its
Light, adică ăștia de la Techland au confirmat că ending-ul canon este ăla când Chris se face zombie, că altfel nu avea cum să dea spread la infecție. Deci e canon. Și într-un fel e bine, că poți să ieși că e încă alive. Ca zombie. Mam. Un Rise 2.0 am văzut acolo?
Survivors pride themselves on being able to adapt to any circumstances and cobble together safe zones almost everywhere. Peacekeepers, loyal soldiers who want to impose their version of law and order and trample all in their path. Renegades, ex-prisoners serving their ruthless colonel, seeking to
O să fie multe facțiuni și de la mini-facțiuni.
Ease. Wolves. Make him tell them.
Use these factions to reach your goal. Help or harm them to reshape the city to your liking. Just remember, each faction contains complex characters.
Nosy Parker, ain't ya? Got some kind of bad habit of yours?
So, will you follow cold calculation or your heart?
The bazaar needs good people. Help us and you'll find a home here.
Some in the city offer no chance for an alliance. Bandits, outlaws, and common thugs live only to plunder and kill, plunging the streets into chaos. Yet, nightfall scares all of them equally.
Oh, da.
Darkness changes the rules of the world. As the light fails, monsters crawl out of hiding to prey on the poor souls caught outside the safety of UV rays. Hordes of infected pour into the streets like decaying lava. The deadly spawn of 15 years of mutation and evolution. Your only escape? Exploit the city's verticality and flee to the roofs. Though even there, you are never safe from swift and deadly virals.
Mă, ce știu o să fie. God damn it. Mor. S-a terminat dacă-ți vine ăla.
Yet night brings opportunity as well. Nests rife with infected during the day now lie empty. To explore them, you must tread carefully.
Mamă, alte tipuri, fuck.
Face the terrors of the night can loot a jackpot.
Oh. Asta, și o să trească să ții de asta ca să rămâi gen infectat? Ăla e felul.
Luckily, you have all the tools.
Doamne, cum arată jocul ăsta.
Your extraordinary parkour skills allow you to navigate even the most treacherous terrain. On the roofs, you can count on your parkour acrobatics to save your life. But often, you'll have to face your enemies head on. And then you have to be smart, resourceful, and determined. We've worked hard on the essence of our combat, making sure swinging a big weapon is fun, satisfying, and well executed. But even the most brutal fights can be tactical as well. You have multiple ways to hone your skills toward the gameplay style that suits you best.
Mamă, mișcarea asta, dă-te în pana mea. Mamă, cât de satisfăcătoare o să fie.
Parkour, or aggressive, blunt force combat, or a crafty approach where the tools you've created get the job done. Every ability you learn can be a game changer and possibly a new favorite move. Things move fast and quick in Dying Light 2. Each moment matters. Each move could mean triumph or defeat.
Okay.
Choose your actions and friends carefully. Everything you do in the city can reshape the gameplay environment, change the course of the narrative, and decide the fate of the city's residents. But most importantly, you decide your own fate as well.
You're about to turn.
Make sure to stay human.
Oh, 7 decembrie 2021. Mor.
Swift and deadly virals. Or even greater threat. Yet night.
No, man. So nice. Prea mișto. Și este gen full. Okay. Map of the city. Steelbook, dar nu înțeleg ce e steelbook, e gen artwork, tot așa poze și așa? Prinde și UV flashlight gen în viața reală. Și sticăre. Faze că nu știu dacă îți dă main game sau îți dă... Ah, nu, digital content. Îți dă... Mi se pare că îți dă Ultimate Edition. Așa, mai automat. Deci să am în plus harta jocului, care este foarte importantă, spune de lucii astea. Dacă nu avem fizic, probabil dacă o caut pe net o găsesc. Nu mai dă UV flashlight gen în viața reală, foarte mișto asta. Țicăre și statueta asta care face, cred că, toți banii. O merită să o iei, dar și foarte scumpă și iubesc eu Dying Light, dar nu știu pot dacă merită să dau fucking 16 milioane pe scenă, adică nu merită, pe bune. Tot asta, parcă îmi face cu ochiul. Da, în fine băieți, asta a fost reacția mea la Dying Light 2 Stay Human. Abia aștept să vină pe canal, cu siguranță vom face live când va apărea, pe 7 decembrie 2021. Adică peste ceva timp. Nu uitați să dați acolo un like, un subscribe. Mulțumesc pentru atenția acordată. Sper că v-a plăcut și că sunteți hype, la fel ca mine, să jucăm jocul ăsta minunat. Să vedem ce ediție luăm și când. Eu am fost Alberto și ne auzim data viitoare. Pa, pa!